Hey friends. So I wanted to come in here and talk some more about answered prayer. I'm actually sitting in a 2006 Toyota Prius that is an answer to prayer for me and my family. Back about the first of this year, I had written down a whole list of different goals for the year and different needs that we had. And I knew that we were going to be needing another vehicle. We have 5 children, me and my husband, ages 20 all the way down to 11. And so there's a lot of different vehicle issues, and some of our vehicles are very old. All of them are very old. The earliest model, I guess, or newest model we had was like a 2001 vehicle. And so we knew that we were going to be needing another vehicle. And July rolls around, and it's just kind of been on my list. I wrote it down and just been praying over it and just kind of trusting the Lord to meet that need. We needed a vehicle that would get good gas mileage, that we could take on road trips out of town, because we had to take Carson to Austin, Texas to Patriot Academy. He got a scholarship to go there again this year and was so excited to go. And originally, he and his girlfriend Katie and Riley and Kathleen drove down together to Austin, Texas to drop him off. And they used my mom and dad's car. They have a Buick that they were using. And so they drove down in my mom and dad's Buick. They come back. They drove down on a Sunday. And they came back and everything was fine. But then Monday, my parents put their Buick into the shop to get the oil changed. And they say, you know what? We can't change the oil in this car because there is a leak. And so, okay, they take it to their mechanic, and the mechanic says, yes, there's a leak in this gasket. We need to change it out. So they order the part for it. It was about Wednesday. I get a phone call from my mom. We're having to leave Friday morning to go to Texas to be there for Carson and pick him up and bring him home Saturday. And mom says, Jamie, the car is not going to be ready on Friday because they're trying to fix this gasket and the part hasn't come in. And so, I was wondering, what on earth are we going to do? And the week before Carson had went to Patriot Academy, he'd actually wrecked his truck. So we were down one vehicle already. None of our other vehicles really would be dependable to drive all the way to Austin in 103-degree weather in the middle of the summer. And so, as God would have it, opening all the doors that he is able to open, he put me in contact with my husband's good friend, Jim Stewart, who coached Walker in power tumbling in high school. And he's been a wonderful friend of our family for many years. And he'd just been at the house visiting like a week before. And I mentioned something to him about Carson wrecking and totaling his truck. And he says, I have this old 2006 Prius that we might sell. We just keep it as a spare car, and I might be willing to sell that. And so I contacted him and said, were you serious about selling this Prius? And he says, yeah. And so the Lord just really opened the door, and we were able to buy this Prius for way less than what it was, for about half of what it blue booked for. And we had the cash to do it, and got it, was able to drive down to Texas and come back. And it was very much an answer to prayer, because at the beginning of the year, when I had written down the kind of vehicle we needed one that would get better than 32 miles per gallon. And this Toyota Prius definitely meets that criteria. It's a very sound vehicle and has been just a blessing to our family. And I know that that was an answer to prayer that the Lord did for us. We have prayers, we write things down, we can forget about it, but God doesn't forget about it. He answers in his own time and in his own way. And it's just amazing the way that he works out all. There's my internet connection. It keeps wanting to pop in and out. So obviously the enemy doesn't like me sharing these encouraging words and testimonies, but I hope that it's been a blessing to you. Is there something that you need prayer for? You can put a prayer request in the comments, or if you have a testimony of how God has answered prayer for you, I would love to hear it. Share that with me. It would be a blessing to me and to others, because you know what? God does still answer prayer, always and all the time. He opens doors that we never